Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockeytails with Wally. And today, I'm so excited to have on a 27-year-old from Bridgend, Wales. His hockey journey has taken him to Wales, England, Northern Ireland, and Scotland, probably some other countries. A staple and legend with the Cardiff Devils and their Red Army. He was the co-host of the podcast Red Army Roundup. He's laced up for one of the Shed's favorite teams, the T-Haven in the UK All-Stars. He's beat Hodgkin's Lymphoma 3 different times at least, and just got hitched. He is the only consistent tipper of the Shed, and was my only Twitter troll because he thought I was fat. Welcome to the Shed, Sean Phillips.
Hi, Wally. How you doing? Okay.
Oh, I'm good. It's a little early. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good. Thanks. Really good.
Where are you at? You're out on a deck or something?
Currently I'm on honeymoon in mid Wales.
You made time for the Shed on honeymoon?
Yeah, I know.
That's dedication. Tell her thank you.
I know. She can hear. Just she's sat in the hot tub. She's having a time.
Oh, perfect. Well, tell her thank you. We're making memories. She can come over and say hi too if she wants.
No, I think she's good.
Okay. I get into how we know each other. I reached out when I saw your pictures of just getting married to your gal, eh?
Yeah, a couple of days ago we got married in Castle Koch.
How do you say it? Castle Koch?
Castle Koch.
Koch?
Castle Koch. Koch.
What language are you speaking?
CO and then phlegm, basically.
Okay. I didn't know how to say that one. So you had a good time though?
Yeah, great day. Yeah, absolutely out of this world. Yeah.
How many people showed up?
32.
You guys in the UK
32.
though, you guys actually get married in real castles. We don't really have that shit around here.
Yeah, we could only have 30 people within the castle because of like liability stuff, so insurance. So yeah, then we had a couple of guests in the evening then. So yeah, it was nice. It was really, really intimate and it was awesome. Yeah.
Tough to cut down to 30 folks though, eh, with your hockey family.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Well, sorry to the folks that weren't invited. Didn't make the cut. So I get it now. We know each other. We would have met 2014-15, eh? I had a tough start to that season, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
I remember Jonathan Williams letting me know at the BBT bar that he didn't think I was in good enough shape. You thought so too, didn't you? Did you concur?
He wasn't that wrong. He wasn't completely wrong, was he?
I was fine. I was ready to go.
You say all the time, you don't skate in the summer. So you never really come in shape. You're so used to going to Germany and skating for a month that you didn't come in.
That is true. Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah.
I didn't know how that you like got going like right. Well, I kind of knew, but I thought I'd be fine.
Well, that's what Challenge Cup games are for, aren't they? So.
But just so I can bring up more excuses, was my knee brace wasn't moving correctly, and the Devils bought me a new one, and that's when things turned around. Holy moly, get your shit together over there, Sean. You're dropping phones. Jesus. So I only heard about it because later that season, or it was early that season, Todd Kelman told me or told us to get Twitter to help with marketing and get the name out there and the brand. So did you say anything negative about me on Twitter at the start of that season?
I think I said you were out of shape, didn't I?
Well, I only heard rumors. I don't think I had Twitter yet or saw it.
You said this a couple of times. I don't think I think the only time I ever said you were fat was on the bus in your second year after you'd retired. And
I was fat then.
You were a good few pints deep and you were like, well, my career's done. And I was like, well, that's why you've let yourself go. So
that's right. I'm trying to get it back together, but it's hard to find time to exercise, you know?
You're doing just fine, man. Doing just fine.
But yeah, the bus trips, that's how we know each other. The back of the bus with my creepy stalker neighbors, right? Dan and Sarah.
Yeah. Dan and Sarah, yeah.
Yeah. So the back of the bus would really be rocking on those bus trips, eh? You guys got to be missing those. I hear they don't happen anymore.
No, well, obviously with COVID and games not happening at all. And then last year we really struggled to find a company that would sort of commit to doing the trips with no masks. They were expecting whoever was running it to police it, and like we're not dealing with that shit. Like, and they wanted the upfront deposit as well. And a lot of times like, if we didn't have the interest, we were cutting the trip like 2 days before it happened, and bus
And then
companies
you're
were,
gonna lose a deposit and
yeah,
all.
yeah, exactly. So that we couldn't commit to that, and
Well, those
yeah,
were
so it's,
really fun trips though. Like, were
you're
you on the
welcome.
trip in Dundee with my
With
parents?
your parents, yeah. Dundee Drunk was born in, yeah, with your parents, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got a bit
yeah.
carried
I was
away
on
before that game against the Stars.
Yeah, I was on that one, yeah.
Okay, and then another way we know each other though is I had on the captain of the T Haven UK Fall All Stars, James Pepper, episode 191. You played for
Mhm.
that team. How often you done that?
I played for T Havens. I played for T Havens 3 times. I captained that team a couple of years ago as well.
Really?
Yeah,
So can
yeah,
you
I captained
play?
that team.
I saw the
Um,
I saw the poster picture.
yeah, I can play a little bit. I'm not exactly Joey Martin, but who is? Nobody's Joey Martin. But yeah, I can play a little bit. I
So
can stand up.
you're
And go,
just buzzing around out there, probably hacking and whacking, aren't you?
yeah, cross over both ways. Throw my little bit of weight around now and again, and little bit of short man syndrome, bit like yourself, Wally. Just
Yep.
rocking up to fight Kevin Noble and
Can't
all that
take
sort of
that
thing.
shit from those
No,
guys, right?
absolutely not, punks.
So I guess we kind of covered this, but where and what are you doing now? So you're on honeymoon.
I'm on honeymoon right now. If I wasn't here, I'd be at home with my 2 kids, my wife. I work as basically as a compliance manager, working for a steel galvanizing company. So I make sure that our trucks, our HGVs, are fully compliant. They do what they do to stay legal on the road. The drivers do what they do to stay legal and things like that. So I
I
passed my exam
understand.
a couple of weeks ago. So that's my boring day to day job
Oh,
basically.
hey, no, that sounds like a decent gig then. And so where in Wales are you? You said mid Wales for your
Yeah,
honeymoon?
I'm in mid Wales, a place called Velindre. We're about 20 miles from the English border. Just north of Llandrindod Wells. So
And
it's a
you're there
really, really.
for the weekend or what?
Yeah. So we got here Friday. We're leaving Monday morning.
So you
I'll
missed
show
the
you.
first Devils preseason game.
I missed the first preseason game for honeymoon. Yeah.
Mm, Gonna have to talk to her about scheduling conflicts, eh?
Well, I actually booked this before the preseason games were announced. So,
Okay.
can't
So
exactly do
how
it.
many games do you usually see in a season?
Um, back when we were doing bus trips, I think one year I counted. I'd worked it out one time. We played about 54 league games, all the Challenge Cup games. So you're looking at probably what we actually play is probably in the 70 to 80 game mark, missing a couple of odd Scottish games. I reckon the most I've done in a season with CHL is probably about 65 games.
Holy moly. And that's not cheap,
Yeah,
eh? To go to all the
no,
road games.
no, it's a lot of hockey. A lot of hockey.
A lot of hockey. Not just hockey though, a lot of money, a lot of
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah. Oh no, well, like over the years, I've been to some incredible places with the best group of people, so it's been worth every single penny, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So
You know what?
you do have two kids. I don't want to skip over that. You have a boy and a girl, right?
Yeah, my boy Harley is 7, and my girl Isabel is 5. So they're running amok all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
constantly. Yeah, they're hard work. My boy really loves the hockey, so he's coming to the Manchester preseason game with me, so he loves it.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, no, it's busy times. That's why you gotta get up early to find time to pod and stuff, you know. So anyways, where do you live then normally? In
I live
Cardiff?
in Bridgend. I live in
Where's
Bridgend,
that?
so it's 20 miles from Cardiff. So basically, smack bang in the middle between Cardiff and Swansea.
Okay. Okay. So poster picks. The one we talked about the travels you've got to do with the Devils. The one you got the Steins or the massive beer. Was that in
Mm.
Germany?
No, no, no. That was at Gentleman's Evening, the second year you were there. Remember that one
Oh,
year?
that place by
Yeah, in beer keller, yeah. And there was loads of sponsors there, and you, Wilsey, and a couple of other guys. That sort of everyone was up with sponsors, and then sponsors got bored, and you guys came and just got drunk with us.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I ran amok that night. Yeah, that's a pretty good
Oh
time.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that. Okay. So then what else do I got here? There was a picture of you in the mountains and that you were wearing your Devils stuff. So with the Champions Hockey League, you guys have
Yeah.
got to travel to some pretty cool spots, eh?
Yeah, that was on top of one of the mountains in Davos
Oh,
when we
okay.
when we played those, the first EUHL game.
So the research team missed that in the countries that your hockey journey is taking you. So you went to Switzerland. What other countries?
Yeah, so I did Davos, Switzerland. I've done Bern, Switzerland. Done Graz, Austria. Salzburg, Austria. I did Stockholm. When we played Vacua. So I've done that. Did Frölunda. So
Yeah. Like so every time you're paying
Czech,
for flights, hotels, the
yeah,
game tickets.
Did Czech Republic as well twice.
Busy. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. The Devils are good enough to be in the Champions League now, though, eh?
Yeah, and the thing is as well, other than a couple of games, we really competed as well. Like that first game in Davos was a write-off. Obviously, Frölunda we knew was probably going to be a write-off. And even Vacua, those teams are just so good. But when we went to Salzburg, we did okay. When we went to Bern that same year, we probably could have beaten. It was a tough break. We didn't get to win that one. And then obviously the one that we won in Graz was chaos. It was absolute carnage, and that's one of my highlights, definitely.
Was beating Graz on the road so the Devils fans must have ran amok of that town that night.
Oh yeah. That's that night walking through Graz town back to my apartment was not
good
quite
time.
sure how I got that. Yeah, good time, real good time.
There's another one of you and Chet guy that came on earlier, Jonathan Williams, celebrating something. You guys look quite passionate in that photo.
That was the Challenge Cup winner in Sheffield.
Oh, that was a fun day.
Yeah, that was a fun day. Awful game, great game. Awful game, but great day.
Yeah, I thought, what is it, 2-1 that game, eh?
Yeah, I think sometimes like I've got the DVD and I just think, yeah, it's just I'll give that a skip and just watch the highlights because it wasn't the most the day itself and obviously the emotion of it was incredible, but as a game to rewatch, not
yeah, wasn't much going on out there. I remember.
I think it was 3 penalties or something like that, so not a great deal going on.
But for your poster picks, and I just tell people to put on whatever they want. A lot of them was your hockey family, like the other Red Army travel fans, the guys from the back of the bus. I saw Shane Kinsey on a photo. He's
not Shane. No, Shane Kinsey wasn't on there. No.
Yes, he is on one of them.
No,
he's on the left side with the other guy. Yes, he is.
No,
he was my Mission Burrito guy. He used to give me free burritos at Mission Burrito. Tough meat there, really greasy. They had too greasy of meat. I sometimes didn't even want the free burrito. I'm sorry, Shane. He was on there. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, yeah. You weren't on there.
Whatever. I'll send you the picture right after this. Good joke. But you guys are like a family, eh? The Devils fans.
Yeah.
You got any people in the family that don't like you?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few. But like you always say, Wally, I'm not for everyone. So
exactly. Just be yourself.
But I'm a match night volunteer as well, so I sort of know.
You're a match night volunteer. What do you do?
So I sell 50/50 tickets, shot his back tickets. Didn't you do that once when you were injured?
I did. Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. But yeah,
set up the stands, and before the guys fly in, usually we get all the apartments ready, things like that. So
you help out with getting the apartments ready.
Yeah.
So does Todd still give you like a grocery list to have in the fridge for the boys?
Yeah.
Make kids still get a jersey on the crib type thing?
Yeah, all that sort of thing, yeah.
It's cool that you guys do that. That makes guys happy when they show up and want to play harder, The other one though is you got to take pictures with the trophy. And one of my little notes here is that really that only happens in the UK, that the fans get to take pictures with the trophies and like hold the trophy. Like, like you had the one trophy on your head and you think about the Stanley Cup, there ain't no people touching that one.
No. Well, that trophy we actually still have that trophy because I think it got wrecked the last time we won it. So there's a new league trophy. That's why, because I think it was it had been through some sites.
And that can happen.
Yeah. And the fact that the team sort of put it in the bar and sort of let fans just pass it around, take pictures was, that doesn't happen in a lot of sports, and it doesn't even happen in a lot of clubs in this country.
Right.
It's quite it's a very sort of Devils thing. But
unique,
after the breakages, maybe they may not do that quite so much with the next one, but we'll see.
Yeah. So was it fans that broke it or players?
I think the players broke it, to be honest.
Yeah. I thought I heard something about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So growing up in Bridgend, how'd you get into hockey and the Devils?
So when I had Hodgkin's lymphoma that you mentioned earlier, one of the nurses on the clinic gave my dad tickets. We went to one game and that was it. We won 12-0 against, I think it was Hull Thunder at the time. We won 12-0ing, and
That's
you know,
fun to watch, a 12-0 game.
well, as a kid, it was all like everyone was getting up and shouting, and enjoying
Right.
themselves and everything like that. So yeah, it was it was great, and that was back when the Super League was still going. So the Devils were in quite a poor place in terms of their history, but with the league we were playing in, we were quite competitive. So that made it easier to get into it. And then the Elite League was the following year, and we've very rarely missed a home game.
Yeah. And that, so you're like 20 minutes then, and you'd rarely missed a home game. So you're season ticket holders then, or what?
Yeah, yeah. My dad's been a season ticket holder pretty much since that second year. So we caught the end of that year. When we first started watching them, we had season tickets pretty much every year from that. Except for the Paul Reagan years, but you won't go
Well,
too
when
much
the
into it.
research team got hot though, so there was a newspaper article about an 8-year-old boy from Bridgend that yeah. So obviously you had to deal with some shit, the Hodgkin's lymphoma as a kid, right? And
Yeah,
that article said you had already beat it twice and you were 8
yeah,
years old and it was coming back.
yeah, yeah.
So
So I
so you
had
had
a
a
couple
busy
of
childhood in and out of hospitals and stuff. I'd get in. I was gonna ask
yeah,
if you played hockey, but you're probably pretty busy with
yeah. No, I didn't really play hockey until I was about 13, 14 because I got a younger brother as well. My dad, it's not a cheap game to get into. As we got older, we both started playing, but at the time, yeah, like you said, we were sort of dealing with a bit, some other stuff. And my brother was actually my bone marrow donor as well. So
is that right?
yeah, I had a bone marrow transplant. My brother was my donor. So yeah,
Well, that's nice. I mean, you said he was a younger brother.
yeah, my brother's 2.5 years younger than me.
So, and then how long you been in the all clear?
Pretty much since after my transplant. So since I was about 8. I had my transplant when I was 8, I think. So
Well, that's
uh,
great.
so yeah, nearly 20 years. Nearly 20 years.
Um, uh, the kid that Maxon Maloney, he just got the all clear and is out of the hospital. The kid we raised money for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. Right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Cheers to Maxon.
so yeah, Maxon, good work, buddy. Way to fight while you're in there. Cheers, warrior. Can't imagine what the parents go through though. Must have been
No,
hard on your family. And like as a kid, did you really realize everything that was going on?
I don't think you do. I think you're so focused on, just trying your best to be a kid. Like I had to grow up pretty quickly. But between like the hockey was such a big thing for me because the Devils at the time, um, made such an effort to get the players involved with myself and things like that. And I was involved in a testimonial with one of the players as well.
Which player's that?
That was Mike Weir before your time, but Mike
Yeah.
Weir played in the NHL for the Edmonton Oilers a couple of games. He was in their camps and was with Cape Breton for a few years, so he
Yeah.
had a testimonial. And
He
obviously he
played
was
10
doing.
years with the Devils.
He played 10 years in British hockey. I think he played 10 years in British hockey. A lot of them were with the Devils, but he played up in Edinburgh, and for Sheffield as well. But he played 10 years in the UK, and at the time as well, when I was not obviously not in a good place, and I was short and bald, he was tall and bald. So it was quite relatable in that sense, and they were so supportive, and that's sort of what kept me going, and like that's why I volunteer now because it's just sort of my way of sort of giving back a little bit because it's
Yeah.
the team gave my family and I so much, and like that's just my way of giving back to the team
Well,
for
it
what
has been a big part of your life, your entire
yeah,
life,
definitely,
basically, eh?
yeah, definitely.
Guess that's why you get so passionate when this team signs fat guys, eh?
Well, exactly, yeah,
Horseshit. I don't think that's happening anymore though at Cardiff, eh? All the guys are coming in with 6-packs and whatnot, eh?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We ain't signing
Second
German beer
leaguers.
leaguers anymore.
Okay. So what else do I got then? One thing it said though is that you had a website going through your battle that you kind of documented everything, and it said a lot of people would go to it, and it's kept you in contact with a lot of people, and it really helped you, right? I think it was kind of interesting because it's kind of like what I'm doing in the shed, where I'm staying connected with all my buddies and people around the world by coming out here and chatting, right?
Yeah. Well, that was my way of staying in touch with people that I was in school with and things like that.
You better not let it get any windier out there, man, or you're gonna have to head indoors. Don't care if you like looking at her in the hot tub. You might have to go indoors if it keeps getting windier.
All right. Okay. Yeah. You tell me if it's getting too windy for you all. You tell me if it's getting too windy.
I know you're all hot and bothered on vacation, but if it keeps getting windier, I don't have an editing team.
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So then you've been with the Devils through all 3 different rinks, eh?
Yeah. The old WNIR, the BBT, and now I stream in Wales. Yeah.
So which one's your favorite and why?
It has to be the WNIR. It has to be.
Really?
I don't think it'll ever. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be beaten. I love. I didn't really like the 10.
Shut up. You're so fancy pants, eh? You need all that shit.
Yeah, no, I think sort of like my dad was involved in this in the committee that sort of fought the council for the rink as well. So like that came later than it should have. It was in no way in any fit state to play. I know like a lot of people say, it was our it was a shithole, but it was our shithole. But we shouldn't have had to put up with that for as long as we did. It was only meant to be a 5-year thing, and it was there for 10 years. So
I heard it was only supposed to be like a couple of years. It was
well,
solid
exactly.
decade. There was some issues by the end of it.
Yeah, so that's Cardiff. So that's Cardiff Council for you, but I can appreciate it for what it was and the memories that were made there. But the mistreatment of the Devils was sort of ingrained into the walls of that from the council, and it was at a time when I hadn't long had finished my battle, and the Devils were sort of that was my time to sort of be normal and come have my normal life, and hockey was almost taken away from me, and that was a pretty shit thing to happen. And so the BBT was sort of.
It would have been pretty tough when they just take that arena away downtown, and then they it was Dr. Russell Cowley was playing that year, and he said there was nowhere to practice, and you just play a game on the weekend, and that
well that's the year that Max Beerbrier came here as well, who was a stud as well.
Yeah,
what a guy.
What a story. My gosh.
Unbelievable story.
Yeah, that episode of the shed really blew my socks off.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
Marcia had told me a few of his tales, that Beer Breyer's tales, but once you hear it firsthand, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting arena, and that's what I thought. It was very unique, the old circus tent, So where did you sit in the BBT that you didn't like it so much?
Directly behind the net.
Standing or up at the top?
Up at the very, very back row. So I sort of stood up. Yeah.
Right. So you get snow on you sometimes if there's holes.
Yeah. Definitely a couple of drips. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so the first one was your favorite, eh? Interesting.
Yeah.
So you hosted a podcast. Looks like there hasn't been any episodes in a while.
No. Well, we, the 3 of us sort of.
Who was it?
We have a life now. I was myself, Aaron Wren, and Paul Hinton. We all just got so busy, man.
Dude, that's why when I talk, if anybody ever was like, I want to be your partner, do this with you, it's like, how the hell would I ever schedule any of them if I had another person to do it with? It's like the times I've got a group chat on, it's because I'm like, we're doing it this day at this time. Hopefully you can be there.
Whoever turns up. Yeah.
Yeah. And but that's the thing is, if I got a morning, I try to get a guy from overseas. If I have night, I find a guy in North America. And it's just whenever I have time, I have to figure out where I can get a player from, or a guy or a girl.
But yeah, so that was just one of those things that, we still.
So did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The 3 of us are great friends. We have very different views on hockey in some cases and very similar on others. So it was great. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. We did a lot of episodes, and I think it just sort of got to the stage where Paul and I were doing so much with the team as well, in terms of volunteering and things like that.
You can only do so much, right?
Life just got in the way.
I understand. So how much prep work would you put into those episodes?
We would do a small running order, and that would be it. And Paul would do a little bit of editing, but no, that was it. Not a lot.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I saw you also went on another podcast. You were a guest before. You've been in someone else's shed, and it was about like your best favorite lines, favorite
Yeah.
devils, right?
Yeah.
So who's your favorite line?
I can't remember what I did on that podcast.
Well,
That
then
was a
say
long
it
time
now.
ago.
What was it? Or who do you think it is now?
I think I went with Phil Ozier in net, who played in that first year in the tent. Phil
I was
Ozier.
talking about a forward line. You're talking all
Oh,
6 players.
yeah,
You do whatever you want.
we did a full 6, yeah.
That's not a
okay,
line,
so-
I don't think, in my eyes.
So Ozier in goal, Richardson and Hotham on D,
Good start.
Martin,
Yep.
Culligan,
Chris Culligan made it on your line.
Chris Culligan, yeah, and I'm going to change that this year. I'm going to go with Trevor Cox.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Trevor Cox this year, but
And
you could
I'm
ask me-
probably just honorable mention. It's cool. No, that's cool.
Yeah, there were a few
Honorable
mentions.
mention. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where
Yeah,
you got
you're-
me down.
you're-
That's cool.
You're in the fat guy all-star team.
Okay. Well, Collie, eh? You like Collie? He's a confirmed
Yeah, I
shed
really
guy,
like
but
him.
he's fixing up his house right now.
Yeah.
We're waiting until he's done.
Yeah, love Cully. Love the way he played the game. Love
He kind of like had some similarities with Mosey that he could switch back to defense whenever the team needed, right?
Yeah, definitely. And he scored that wonder Ovechkin-esque goal as well in that one year that went viral. And yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just missed that video because it was my high flip that went out there for him, you know?
I think he got underused here. I think he was better than I think he had a lot more in his locker, and we could have had a few more good years out of him if he hadn't blown his knee.
Yeah, no, great dude too, great teammate. I spent a lot of time with him over in Cardiff because he lived right by me both years. He spent a lot of time with Colby too. He's great babysitter, great guy. Yeah. I got another note down though. We talked about how the Devils are the Champions League. How neat is it that they're in video games now?
I know, yeah, it's awesome. Like,
it really is cool for like people to be able to play with their favorite team, right? Like the fans in the UK, their favorite teams are not NHL teams. They're the teams in Britain, and now you can play with some of those teams. Somehow they should get the whole league in that game, not just who's in the Champions League.
I think it was talked about a few years ago. And it might still happen. You never know. There's a guy who can
and then maybe the video game could pay the league a little bit of money. You know, just thinking out loud.
Todd Kalman's in charge. Anything can happen.
Right. Anyway, so that's cool. So I got your favorite road trips. What's your favorite road trip in the league?
My favorite road trip in the league.
Where would you want to go for a road game?
Fife.
Yeah.
Fife.
Just because the arena and the fans? You like to muck it up with those angry fans?
Arena fans, the food is great as well as a fan.
The arena, you mean?
Yeah, in the arena, yeah.
You're not one of those sickos going around for the deep fried Snickers or Mars bar or whatever.
Nah, chicken curry and chips in Fife. Beautiful. And the scoreboard up there that they've got is actually the scoreboard from the WNIR, from the first ice rink that we played in.
Oh, really? That's the scoreboard from there. That's a fun fact for the crowd.
Same scoreboard, different bulbs.
I love that they go out with the kilts on and like play the bagpipes. You know, that gets your hair standing up in weird spots, you know?
Yeah. They're one of those teams as well that actually invite the opposition fans to sing the national anthem as well, which is something I'm quite
like they do in Glasgow too. I remember when the Devils fan, like you're all the way in Scotland, you're so far away, and that there's that many fans and they sing the national anthem in the crowd. That gets you going for a game, you know?
I bet, yeah. Were you part of that? You would have been part of that team.
That did what?
Were you a part of that team that beat Glasgow in overtime doing the teddy bear toss, or was that the year later? I think it might have been the year.
I have no idea. Probably not. I don't think that doesn't sound familiar. Why? What happened there?
They had their teddy bear toss arranged, and we took it all the way to overtime, and Doucette scored the winning goal in overtime, 1-1.
Oh, so they never did score a goal to get the teddy bears on the ice, and then they had to throw them out.
They did it on ours, and they were just throwing all the teddies at our guys.
Yeah, it's fun scoring a teddy bear goal though. I did it, I think, twice where like you score the goal and then all of a sudden they start flying
Yeah.
at you. It's pretty
Mhm.
fun. Yeah.
Cool night, yeah. Really cool night, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do I got though? So the back of the bus crew though, for those road trips, like those guys are your best buddies, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like
Yeah.
Kevin Hampson, he's won a couple jerseys now. He's
Yeah,
a
he's
big
a
Shed
beauty.
supporter. And then you
Yeah.
got the creepy stalkers, Dan and
Yeah.
Sarah making basil and beef
Sarah, yeah.
sandwiches, you know?
Beef and basil, yeah.
Yeah, I love those sandwiches. Really got me going there on the bus trips, you know? And then Shane Kinsey that you put on your poster and you don't even remember, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What a mess. Shifty, all the crew, right? We had
Yeah.
quite the time when we went all the way to Sheffield. So was I the first player on the bus with you then, chirping you?
Yeah, I think you were, yeah. I think you definitely would have been, yeah.
Yeah. Those were fun trips though. I had a blast going to Sheffield and dressing up a store, you know.
Good times. Good
It was a
times.
good time. So anyways, what do I got here? This year's squad. Good looking squad, eh?
Yeah, it does. It does look like a good squad, yeah. We've kept the real good core of last year. Like I said, Trevor Cox is a brilliant player.
I can only see half of your face right now, eh? There you go.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
Don't lean back too far. Okay.
Yeah. So
You say Trevor Cox is one of your favorites, eh?
Trevor Cox is a great player. No, Marty's still my favorite.
He's our goat, I know.
Still my guy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, he's been paddleboarding around topless again.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. Fans are just gonna not be able to contain themselves in Cardiff, Wales, you know?
Got Sam Jardine as well.
I know. Samuel Jardine, one of my favorites, and he's wearing number 18. A fan sent me a photo yesterday of him in 18. I hadn't seen that number out there in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful to see him in that. Couldn't ask for a better guy to be wearing 18. He's a dandy, you know?
Yeah. His dad's a good guy too. Took his dad to Guildford once for a road game around Christmas time.
Oh yeah, you took him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you didn't get him Dundee drunk like my parents.
No.
Kept her just watch the game, eh?
Yeah, just watching the game, yeah.
So and then I guess it's Brody DuPont's first season coaching, eh?
Yeah.
We got to ask your opinion because you know we don't want you getting on Twitter and you know being ruthless on him. So
no, I'm all for it. He obviously won the playoffs, couldn't have done any more. We lost our coach last year. We got rid of our coach last year, and Jared Scaldi. Don't know what happened there, but if anyone's going to take over, they're going to need a year to get used to the league, and you know the fact that every game matters, and no one's better equipped to do that than the guy who's played for us for a year. So you know,
DuPont, and he would get it right, and I think a lot of the players they brought in would already get that right. There was the guys that have been on the team beforehand, like Marty and Bouncy, that have come back that get that, and then they also brought in the guys from last year that ran amok, right?
Yeah. Well, you look at last year and you've got pretty much 14, 15 new guys. And we finished 13 points off first, which is not the best, but it's not the worst either. Sheffield and Belfast was something else.
They were 13 points behind.
I want to say it was about 12 points, actually. 12 points behind.
That's quite a bit, though.
But still finished third, and quite comfortably. So with a whole new team, a whole new coach, it wasn't, that wasn't too bad. And we had a good group. Couple of good additions, Kugler, Brandt, a few good guys added to the mix, and I think we got a good team.
It looks like they've kind of kept the core from last year and then the core from beforehand, and it looks like it could be quite a mix. One guy I would have liked to see stay is the horse, Matt Register, but
can't have it all, Wally. Can't have it all.
Yeah, I guess you can only have so much money, right?
Yeah.
Gonna have to win more challenge cups and leagues to get more money to pay them all, right? But one of the reasons I thought to have you on was I had just had the Batches on after they got married. And and then Batchy's back again, and I believe this is his testimonial year.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting better.
It was his best year last year.
I thought I only saw 2 games and I thought he looked he just looked better in every area.
He was unreal, and just that trust being, giving him the minutes, and I think he was great, really good, and hope to see an even better year from Josh Batch again this year. And he was rewarded with his GB call-up as well. So
And I like to say, and a couple other fellows have said that he is one of the best looking players in the league. And did you know that after we discussed Robert Dowd being one of the best looking players in the league, that the Bob Westerdale in Sheffield wrote an article about basically our episode in the shed with Carter, Best, and Will, and with the support Sheffield's given me. I know you're not going to like to hear this, Sean. I don't hate them anymore.
No,
He wrote an article about our episode in the shed about how Robert Dowd's the best looking guy and about like all this, everything we talked about. And I thought it was incredible that like a guy write newspaper articles or whatever would support me like that from Sheffield.
No, I've got a lot of friends in Sheffield, a lot of friends in Belfast, a lot of friends in Nottingham, and the best way, like I know you say you don't hate them anymore, but the best way to be as a fan is just to hate everybody.
Hate everybody, or what about love everybody? No,
not the fans. I love pretty much most of the fans, but just my team or my team or no team. My team or no team.
Okay. So do you chirp a lot of players from the other teams?
It depends. Yeah, it depends.
You have though, eh?
Oh yeah.
You say anything offside? Ever say something that you're like, oof, maybe I shouldn't have said that. That was a little too far.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty well behaved. Don't forget, I'm a volunteer as well. So
so you can say whatever you want then.
No. I shouldn't say anything. Shouldn't say anything I want. Is the whole is the basis of that, I think.
Okay. So well, let's see here. Other guys on that team. So Kugler, never seen him play, I don't think. What's he like?
Great player. Real great player. Real good. Really speedy. Really good hands. Confident. Tried to pull on a breakaway. Tried to pull between the legs and the behind the legs and the shot.
In the real game?
Yeah, in a real game. Yeah, real.
Oh, so he's got big balls, does he?
Oh yeah, hit the bar, but I think Sanford put in the rebound. So, but just to try the audacity of it is.
When did he do that in a regular season game? You're telling me he went like between his legs? You're getting all choppy on me there. So he did that in a regular season game. What did he do?
Yeah.
Are you still there? There you are.
Yeah, I'm still here. Have you got me?
Yeah. What move did he do?
So he sort of on the breakaway, back in front of him, pulls it sort of through.
Hey, you got to move your finger. I think you're on the microphone, man. Get it together. I know you're on honeymoon and you're all wound up. Okay, get it together over there.
How was that for you?
That's a little bit better.
Yeah. So pulls the puck back behind his leg, back through his legs, slightly to the left of him, tries to take the shot, goes top shelf and hits the bar.
Really?
So you can pull. He's on the breakaway. You can pull the move, pull the deep.
I still think your finger's on the mic. You sound different.
Okay.
Stop holding on to your ding-a-ling. Holy moly. There you go. You set it down. Stop holding your ding-a-ling.
Yeah. So he pulls it through his legs, puts it to the left, tries to throw it top shelf, hits the bar, and we puts the rebound through. But just to pull it, it's
it was always ingrained in me not to try stuff like that because coaches would lose their mind back in the day. Nowadays, you're allowed to try shit. It's kind of weird. Would you stop playing with it? Stop playing with your ding-a-ling.
Go watch Ben O'Connor's penalty shot for GB.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on in the shed. That was because when I saw that, I literally could not believe he would do that in that stage in the World Championships, to do a move that is so ridiculous, and he scored on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And did he not go in backwards and then go between his legs while he was going backwards?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
I just remember it was so outrageous. I almost choked on whatever I was eating. Yeah. I remember watching it in Eli Jenkins in Cardiff Bay. Yeah. Anywho, so where do you sit in the new arena? Because I know each block is like your own family, and Block 13 just asked the Waltons to join in on their It's Game Day video, which just warms my heart to still be a part of Game Day in Cardiff. So thanks for including us, Block 13. Where are you?
So at the minute I'm in block 6. So I stick with Paul, and I sort of volunteer and we come as a package, and he's due to have a baby. So I'm not himself, his partner's due to have a baby, obviously. But So I'm sort of sticking around with him for volunteering things and whatever have you. And we sort of got 2 seats together because if we get a bit of a sellout and they need 2 seats to sell, then we can sort of stick it up in the gantry and they can sell 2 seats.
So when you do all this volunteering, do you get a deal on the tickets or no?
I don't pay for my own ticket.
Love it. Yeah. Well, if you're gonna help out and volunteer, right, you should get a little tickle, right?
Yeah, but I'd happily pay for it. It's just one of those things. You get it, and it's great. And if one day Todd said, "Look, guys, there's 20 volunteers. We're missing out on this. You need to pay," I'd happily pay for it. So
Right. Well, it's a big part of your life, and that's your passion,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
So Samuel Jardine as a player, I still have this year's squad written down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really seen him play. So what type of player is Samuel Jardine? I have a pretty good idea, but
good, smooth skating defenseman. Good hockey IQ, really good brain. Can just do a bit of everything. I think when he was with us in his first stint, he was we had a guy called Sean McMonagle who was sort of quarterback in the power play. So Jardine didn't feature too much in it, but I felt like he had the sort of weapon in his arsenal to do it if
he obviously showed that with the Swamp Rabbits, right, in the coast that year.
Yeah, so that's what I think he'll be doing this year is sort of playing that quarterback in the first power play.
Laying it in people's wheelhouses. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I figured he was a guy that did everything really well, but like those guys a lot of guys that make the show are like, they look like freaks, but they also do one thing like world class, whether it's penalty killing or power play. And I think Jards does everything,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And Richie's back and he's the captain now, right? So Marty's the assistant captain,
Yep.
Richie's still doing her though, eh? He never ages.
Richie's the guy. Like that'll be one of the most difficult things to do is replace Mark Richardson when he decides to do it. But he'll play till he's about 86. So
I don't see how he can't play at the elite league level and be one of the best until he's at least 50.
Yeah, he's that sort of player. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. So then Bouncy's back, him and his tramp stamp, eh?
Yeah.
And they brought back the other goalie too, right?
Yeah, Taran goes in. Yeah.
So they're going to be battling for ice time then, probably, eh?
Yeah, which is good. I think that's one thing that Bouncy's always needed is that sort of bit of a competition, which he didn't. It's
kind of interesting though. Like the whole Bouncy thing was always like, then you're not wasting an import card. Well, now you're still getting an import.
Yeah.
I feel like teams have gotten really soft with goalies these days so that they think they can't play so many games. And like you look at Sheffield, they signed like two high-end import goalies, didn't they?
Yeah. I think who else signed 2 import? I think Nottingham signed 2 import goalies. Belfast have got.
And I think a lot of import goalies want to. I know some love the competition, but some like to come over and be like, "This is my net, and this is my season, and like this is my league title I'm going for."
I think you need it. I think you need 2 goalies in this league. It's
well, when you say you play 70 to 80 games, right? Like that is it's a lot of games.
You gotta have 2 goalies. You gotta have 2 goalies.
Okay. Well, be interesting to see how they do this year. I really like the squad, and I really like Brody DuPont when he came to the shed. I think he's gonna be the coach the Devils really need. Okay. So, what is your favorite season of the Cardiff Devils ever?
Oh,
don't think too hard. No editing team.
I think it's got to be that year we won the league title.
So that's like probably
16, 17.
That's the year after I'm gone. Yeah. We lose by like 2 points both years. Yeah. Then I leave, and then you trim the fat, and all of a sudden you're good enough. I get it. What a joke.
Yeah, no, that's that for me was special. That league title.
Is that the time when Marv Hotham scores, like goes coast to coast and scores in Belfast?
No, that was the second league title, but I was actually there for that one as well.
Jeez, yeah. Costs a lot to support a team the way you guys do and be that passionate. Like you got to buy the flights to Belfast and then pay for the hotels to be a part of that, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's worth it every time.
Yeah, for sure. You get to be with your hockey family and party when you win and get pissed off when you lose, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to have to let you guys get back to your honeymoons here soon, aren't we? Eh? So what about your favorite coach? Is it Lordo or no?
My favorite Devils coach is Jared Adams.
Oh yeah.
I think
He
Jared Adams.
seemed to be doing really well at coaching, and from what I heard of the guys in Cardiff, like they really
Yeah,
liked him. And then
he's
it didn't have to do with him why he left and went to Sheffield. Then he goes there and wins the playoffs
and the league.
and then he wins the league, and then they tell him to kindly leave, and then he hasn't been a coach since. It's kind of sad that a guy's running amok like that and then doesn't
Yeah,
coach again.
yeah. G was our coach for a long time under some pretty shitty circumstances, and he did so well with what he had.
And when it's a shitty situation like that, and all the boys are only saying positive things about the guy,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
he's a solid dude.
Like I love Lordo. Lordo was out of this world. He gave us so much success, and he was such a hard worker. But I think he had an easier time of it than Jared Adams did. So that's literally the only reason I love Lordo.
But he also did it for longer, right? Lordo, like I couldn't believe it when I got to Cardiff. Like, how much that guy did. Like he was involved in like talking to you guys about what meals we were going to get after games. He was dialed in with every little detail, trying to make sure we were as good as we could be, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Bit annoying with me though. He wouldn't leave me alone. Like wouldn't even let me eat the bagels in the room.
Jeez, what's going on?
Everybody else on the team could eat the bagels in the room, and I could only look at them.
Yeah.
That's not fair. It's not fair,
No.
Andrew.
When's
Right?
he coming on? You gonna get him on yet, or?
I haven't even really asked because I don't think he will. You know?
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
guy. But no, great. I love Lordo, great guy, but Jared Adams for me is my favorite coach.
Okay. Well, so then I guess that's your favorite team, and yours the team that wins the league, eh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So who are your favorite Devils of all time? I guess we talked about that line. That
Yeah. Marty's my favorite Devil of all time.
Mine too.
Hands down. There's no competition for it, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since preseason that year, up in Coventry, Jonathan Williams and I were sat and we just said this guy's good.
Yeah,
and,
he is
yeah,
good.
straight away.
So how many jerseys do you own?
I don't own many game ones because obviously they're not going to fit me.
Because you're little.
Yeah, because I'm little.
Right. But you do what jersey do you wear when you go to games? You got the Joey Martin?
Yeah, I've got a Martin replica. I have got a gamer from his when we won the playoffs a couple of years ago. Yeah, so I'll usually go with a white Martin.
Yeah, a white Martin. Okay. So here's a deep question in the shed. Okay.
Go.
If you were going to change anything about the EIHL, what would you change? Whether it's import rules, playoffs instead of league, what would you change?
I would make the goal line technology and the video review system a bit better.
Okay. Has it gotten in the way before?
I don't think it's the fact that it's gotten in the way. I think the fact that it's not always there to be used.
They don't even have it in some places.
They do, but it's very temperamental. So I think the coaches are told before the game that it's not in place, and I think the league should do more to sort of build the infrastructure to make sure that it's readily available to them. But that's it. I wouldn't change the playoffs. I love the playoffs as it is. I love that the league is the most important, gives you value for your money. I wouldn't change the import thing. I strongly disagree with so many people that sort of think if they've got a British passport, they should be able to play as a Brit. I don't agree with that at all.
What about when they play for Team GB though?
No, I still don't agree.
So they play for Team GB,
yeah,
but they're an import.
Yeah. I don't agree with them playing for Team GB either.
So I think it should be one or the other. If you're playing for Team GB, then you shouldn't be an import.
But I'm Welsh, not British, so I don't really follow Team GB.
Oh, is that right? But
yeah.
Welsh is a part of it. Matthew Myers has been running amok for years.
Yeah, I don't feel any affiliation to the national team at all.
Really, eh?
Not a thing.
Yeah, no, I just find it a very interesting rule with like for Mosey being an import in the league,
Yeah.
but then plays for Team GB. That just something just doesn't feel right to me about
You can't,
that.
no, you can't have your cake and eat it. So I agree with you
I
there,
just
but
think that it's the teams. I personally think it's the teams trying to not have to pay guys more because like those Brits would be even more valuable. Like Evan Mosey would be off the charts valuable and be getting paid more than he does if he's a Brit.
well, that happened a few years ago in the Super League when they said there was no import law or something like that, and then you just had teams going to go and sign dual nationals completely. So you would have a team of 20 imports and no British kids.
Well, though they are quite competitive over there, aren't they? You know,
Yeah.
you get Todd and whoever the coach is, and then
Yeah.
Sheffield and Belfast. They're quite competitive. If you change
Yeah.
the rules and if there's a loophole, they're gonna find her.
Yeah. Oh no, exactly, and like that's why I think it's the bet. The bet it works as it is, but I also don't think that they should be playing for GB either. But there you go.
But you also want to be as good as you can be, especially when you're in Pool A.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. We're getting deep here, aren't we? So have you ever yelled shoot on the power play at the players?
Probably a long time ago. Yeah.
I was just curious because I know when I'm going to shoot and I know why I'm not going to shoot when I don't,
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
Matthew Myers isn't in front of the net and nobody else is
You
willing
ain't
to,
shooting.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
take a
No,
wrister from the
you
blue
ain't
line
shooting.
unless there's a
Nope.
guy with his butt cheeks in his face, right?
No, absolutely.
And when fans are yelling at me to shoot it, sometimes I just want to say, nope, I would like to discuss this with you, but I'm not
Nope.
going to shoot it right now.
Yeah, I give him daggers now. Don't yell
Yeah.
shoot on the power play anymore.
There you go. You're all positive now, eh? Glass half full type of a guy.
Oh yeah, I'm changed. I'm a changed man.
And married, right?
I'm married now. Yeah, I'm married now.
Do you have any questions for me? Oh, part of how we know each other that I haven't brought up is on our website, aleshockeytails.com, what Sean Collins has set up for me in Funk Off UK, which is fantastic. And it's the only reason I've been able to do a lot of the stuff that I've done. When I came over from Matthew's testimonial, it was the only reason there was clothes all over the arena was because he set this up for me, shipped it out. He's done everything for me. But on there, because I can't figure out how to make money doing this, I put on there you could tip the podcast. And I never really ask people to because I don't like asking people for stuff. But you actually are the only person that thinks to go to the website and tip me. And you've done it about a handful of times, and you send me about 10 pounds a month. And I tell you, every time you do it, I nearly drop to the ground. My knees start shaking. It's like you actually appreciate how much effort and work I'm putting in, and you'd send me 10 pounds, and you have no idea how much that 10 pounds means to me.
Yeah. No, it's I love what you're doing. I love the fact that I do listen to Chicklets occasionally when there's a guest on there that I want to listen to, but there's nothing really for the real nuts and bolts and the grinding side of the game. It's all sort of all glam. Splits is all glam.
They do live as soon as you get into the NHL and you're living that life. It is totally different than the life we live that never played in the NHL. It's totally different. They dress different. They act like like the suits they wear. They're not the suits I was showing up to the BBT in.
Yeah, Chicklets in the NHL is all glam, and this is real, like blue collar, like.
Well, but what I loved is that when you sent me 10 pounds or whatever, like once you did that about 4 times and I have, 40 pounds, it helps me buy shirts or hats to give out to people. Right. And like, it's hard for me to invest in something when I'm just doing it for fun, but like, I love making hats and giving them to my friends when I see them,
Yeah.
It's like my favorite thing to do is give stuff away.
Yep.
So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And nearly every time it makes my heart race. And I'm like, how is this little punk in Wales making me hot and bothered in Canada? Oh, shit. So anyways, what else you got cooking this weekend in the honeymoon? You guys gonna leave there? Or you just staying setting up shop in the hot tub?
We might go out and get a bite to eat and a bit of an explore today, but we're here with a mountain of snacks, a barbecue, a fire pit, marshmallows, a hot tub, so we ain't gonna go far, I don't think.
Sounds pretty relaxing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think what else I got here. I don't really know what else I got. A lot of it's been covered, but one of the reasons I wanted to have you on was obviously you're part of that Devils family that obviously seems to have taken a shine to me. I'm not sure why, but like I really do appreciate it. I appreciate Block 13 including us in that video. I appreciate people listening to this shit because I mean, it warms your heart when you're just a dude in Kincardine, Ontario that decided to talk to his buddies. And then like, I know it's mainly Devils fans that got this off the ground and got it going. And to think now we're at 66 countries and over 100,000 listens, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's so cool. And it makes no sense that it makes sense, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, I don't know what else I got other than thank you for your support. And you know I sucked that first year in Cardiff at the start. And when if you listen to the episode with the owners, I went over and told them
You
at the
blame your
start.
sticks. You blame your sticks, didn't you? You blame your sticks, Wally.
Wasn't the sticks in Cardiff. I had good sticks there. It was my knee brace.
Oh no, you blamed your sticks in Germany, didn't you? Sorry, you blamed your sticks
That
in
was
Germany.
just Hellbron. That was the only team
right.
and Syracuse. Those were the only two times I had bad sticks. Yeah. Cardiff, it was a bad knee brace. And, you know, I might have been a little not that in shape at the start of the season, but I figured it out, right?
Yeah, you did good. You did good.
Oh, thanks. That's all I needed to hear from you.
When
I've been waiting for your approval. I've been waiting for your approval for like a decade now, man.
When you were coming back at Mega Monday and they announced you were coming back, I was pretty chuffed. I was like, yep, Wally's back. Here you go. And then you went and got fat again and quit 3 games. So
that was the skinniest I ever was, man. I weighed in that last season at 171 pounds. No joke. That's real.
You only let yourself go when you got injured, didn't you?
I really let myself go.
You were in a pretty tough place, Sam.
Yeah, it was it was as hard as it got, I would say, when I showed up at the BBT to watch all those dandies play another team and I wasn't a part of it anymore. And the whole reason I came back was to really enjoy being a hockey player for one last year. So yeah, it sucked. But you know, killed the time by spray painting myself and doing pregame speeches, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, happy wedding or way to go. Congratulations on getting married and enjoy the honeymoon. I won't hold you up anymore. You can strip down and get in the hot tub. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Keep doing what you're doing. Really good. Really enjoy listening. And yeah, just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, stay in touch. And thank you so much for the support. Like I said, those tips, you have no idea what it means to a guy when you're this passionate about something and someone's like, I appreciate what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
And this has been another episode of 2 Ales and Hockeytails with... what's your nickname?
Just Shauno.
Huh? Shauno?
Shauno, Shawnee, whatever you want to go with.
All right. This has been another episode of 2 Ales and Hockeytails with Shauno and Wally.